focus on the spine. We're going to focus on the spine from a Qigong point of view. We're going to work with the Qigong exercises specific to healing the spine, rehabbing the spine, and strengthening the whole spine. We're also going to focus on the Chinese medical understanding of the energetics of each vertebra of the spine, which is, from my point of view, very fascinating. If you don't know any Chinese medicine, you're probably going to get kind of lost. Sorry about that. But hey, maybe it'll like inspire you to like stay up with it. If you know Chinese medicine, hopefully it will be really interesting. Yeah, so that's what we plan to do. And I think that focusing on the spine is a powerful way to access working with consciousness. So I think there's a great value to working with the spine in terms of your own developmental process, I would say. So yeah, that's the basic introduction to this course. So we'll do Qigong. I'll talk about different portions of the spine. We'll put up some, massage tables up so that I can demo, and then we'll have you work with partners to, find zones, and I'll probably guide you through some partner work. We'll set up tables in this room so you can work with partners, and I'll guide you through some meditations around acupressure and around body work on different segments of the spine, so that you can both receive that experience and also as the patient, and also as the practitioner, you can kind of work with the energetics of that as the practitioner. So we'll do some hands-on work that way, and that's my plan. Okay. I also want to make sure that everybody's clear about how to locate different vertebrae of the spine, because it's not that easy necessarily, and sometimes one does just kind of guess a little bit as to which exact vertebral level one's at, because people's bodies can vary a lot. But there are also some good tricks and some good understanding of how to line that up and find the right vertebral level. And once we start breaking down the individual vertebrae of the spine and their actual specific correspondences, both as back shoe points and also elements and so on, knowing which vertebrae you're working with becomes more useful, actually. So I do also want to go through just the practical hands-on aspects of spinal vertebra location. Okay? Any questions? Good, that's it.
Do we need this to be that loud?
No. Do you want to turn it down, Mish, if that's too loud?
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's overpowering you.
It's overpowering you? Yeah.
You.
Me.
Me hearing you.
Okay, I get you. Is it okay if it's in the background, or do you need it
that's
off?
fine, no.
Yeah, just turn it down a bit.
Thank you, much better.
Okay, cool. I'm a little bit deaf, so what's that got to do with anything? I don't know. It's just that I'm a little deaf. So if you're saying something and I just like am staring blankly at you, either I'm deaf or I'm pretending to be deaf. So no, I'm generally not pretending to be deaf. So like just persevere. And like, so for background noise and things, if they're too noisy for you, just because I'm deaf. Okay. So I have no idea where to start. I did zero preparation for the seminar except living and breathing and bike riding and treating patients. But I've taught this seminar a bunch before. I do know what I'm doing, kind of. So I just have to access. Plus, I love not preparing for complicated things like seminars, because I think it's a little fresher, a little sharper for the spirit if you don't over-prepare for these things. So let's start with some fundamentals. So one of the first fundamentals about the human spine is that the human spine is vertical in gravity compared to the spines of other mammals, right? Theoretically, we're mammals. You know, we breastfeed and do all that sort of mammalian stuff. But your average mammal, giraffes and kangaroos, I suppose, accepted, tends to have its spine horizontal in relation to gravity. And the human spine is pretty vertical in relation to gravity. And that is highly significant in my humble opinion. Right? It also creates certain very specific stress points that any chiropractor, acupuncturist, massage therapist is intimately familiar with, which is that around L4, L5, S1, and then around C7, C6, and around C1 and C2, you've got these really specific stress points around the lordoses, around the inward curves of the spine. As our spines have adapted in a fairly short period of time from an evolutionary point of view to verticality, you have these very specific points of stress and points of common points of pain and dysfunction and illness. And so just from a practical, clinical point of view, we'll be focusing some on, just specific techniques to clear back pain. It's a very high percentage of people that suffer from back pain at some point in their lives, like significant back pain. Does anybody know what percentage that is? Because I can't remember. It's really high, though. I think it's more than 50% or something. It's some crazy number, like 70% or something, lifetime risk of a fairly severe back problem at some point, which I think is great because, for me, that's just like bread and butter. That's just... Thank God for the human spinal weaknesses because, I got to pay the rent. And... And people with back pain, it's like, oh yeah, good, cool, more back pain, bring it.
Does that mean it's easy too?
Bring it on. Well, I got some expertise with it. I wouldn't say it's always easy. It's very variable, of course, like all human illness, but it's fun knowing about something. So my interest in back pain actually started when I was 29, and I had very, very severe back pain for 2.5 to 3 years. I blew out a disc. I don't know which one, I never quite figured it out, but somewhere around L5, L4. And I was in like unremitting pain for a long time. I was crawling around on my hands and knees. And then I was in a lot of pain for a long time, and I tried a lot of different things. I did a lot of deep tissue massage. I did all the wrong things, actually. I did Chinese martial arts that were inappropriate for my injury. I did deep tissue massage work that was inappropriate for my injury. And so I just stayed in pain for a long time with lots of recurrences of pain and lots of being present to, back pain. And I guess, for me this was an introduction to pain, which I think was useful because I was studying acupuncture at the time, and I think it's kind of useful to know what chronic pain is like, actually. And how that healed for me, I think, is also interesting, kind of germane a little bit to this conversation. I responded really well to acupuncture when I finally bit the bullet and let myself get acupuncture treatments. Duh. I actually responded really well. And at one point, somebody put a needle in my back, and I remember feeling pure rage. And I wasn't angry because they put a needle in my back or because it was painful. It was just this wave of rage that just kind of washed through my body once this needle was put in. It was so intense that I was aware of nothing else except this extreme experience of rage for about 20, 30 seconds. And then my back just healed. 2.5 years of unremitting pain. It just started to unwind and unfold, and everything started to get better. Wow, that was kind of an eye-opener too, actually, in terms of just how enmeshed, the emotional body and the physical body can be, and how critical to physical healing emotional shifts can be at times. So that was kind of a useful experience for me.